13 August, Kedowagi Pamtui, no heavily purpose in the Shokwe, Kamamtoy. So it's not so much about past. Karigumakara Ningsing in the memorizing the Yamsati, what a act of remembering is also an equally an act of forgetting. So it's important to also, when we remember something, we also simultaneously try to forget something. And so what we remember and what we forget, karamano khina ningsan do se kauthui se karamano ha si akoina memorialization do magi function do karigino ha da solidarity collective ki oiba apunba life ama hinda myu ki khunai fu moment hinda da lingje manana lemina na baki function activity man de akoina memorialization is those of you from anthropology will know this. Totemism is a ritual tribal. So this is solidarity group to be left with Brown and anthropologism. So national day, educational day, modern day totemism, we enact something, do something together to reaffirm our group solidarity. And the patriotic celebration functions again of the group solidarity. Masi as Cookies all communities, a nationalist movement, 2012, for example, Razado Khantan Memorial Football Tournament, I'm still Meitei from Hard Kibani kind of doing a little over me. 2012, when you come out the V1. 2013, the Namu Naga Gitomagiba, my 13 September 1994, the single day of my cookie, quite young sheep, 115 of them were killed on 13 September 1994. Adugi, Ningsin Kuman, Maman, syndrome, Black September. So this is trying to develop this cookie zoo community, solidarity, politics, whole revenues. So it's the function of memorialization, the function of the This is what I want to share. We eulogize the bravery of forefathers. They didn't run away. Hangagu, Genomatata, Pasido Wandu Pukhalakanda, Kanan Omesa. It's there in record, history, record, the house. Kirigati, Ponabazabasigi, famous line, which is written in Tetalo Kambaba. Chile, the Disi of Fatihe Tasai Nausa. Todo we talk on Tuxie and Naki and Lao. This is something like I hate people now to live in the Ipa, the Sudan, and the battle of Manipur's battle of Thermopylae, Hongzum lands. 480 the BC that King Leonidas na Spartan in Tugana Moichahum and Tauruga. Persian the listen in the military school, the Sutai have an battles, how to use geography for your own advantages and military training, the Suya will have any miss. Adunida, surrender to polite, people who have the immortalized to a line and they never come and take it, Hainali on Adis Nahide. Adugi got never Quilsu, Ponabzava and Chekaro from Babati, the Yauban line, memorial and check it. Chile, the civil, they go with open to see. High has. He should not tell you what Emma said. Imam looked at that. She surrendered out of the Lautamaga, Galtana, see the image of Sule. He see you, may take that we got the overside. Yao the whole opportunity to come to Yao. He see as it did. Means I forget what he didn't read in your Sirazudola, General in Heidegger, Robert Clark, Commission, something you worry later. So it is always there. A women to soon young. Aduga. A women in Zanzibar, Adugi speak to the equivalent of Kangabe pipe, Sivoki, then a long thing again. But one of the things that I want to share with you is normally not shared. What we tend to forget when we remember something. We pick and choose, and we try to feel good about ourselves. And that's why we tend to remember certain good things about this kind of a spirit of resistance and so on. it's a lesson as we remember in Isaiah. Nasibu in the Tobani, Nasigi thing about memorialization is here and now. Past and history is about the days gone by. And what we tend to forget is because we can learn lessons from them. The mistakes that we made, and we correct it here and now, as we remember. One of the first mistakes, Sahib Mana se hat pada, Manipur the kari thola tabi kese. Pasana khana nahi raga. Mantri nagani thong naga from Manipur naga kari khaliba. See the cabinet security meeting tawi the army the has war on the famaga see artillery zikadon hazan the sige shina kari season sige air force ko umata moira ba oi divide everything is planned out consequence kari laini if I move in like this kai do sige haina khana laina ra decision low bra high people ai masi mathau ta ai sa last 25 years with the Urupada, I couldn't character, Mamma to Uki, what character, Mamma Sisu to Miao. Manti man, like a Punaka Kamaraga, my Mamma, Lai say is Quinton, is a commissioner of Assam, one of the highest ranking officials of that time. See how the Karitolakania do I could be straight Karino, Quinto Bushin Kaino, Masito, Kaino, and Kanabra Haraga. Trial record encountered young impulsive over chaotic over decision making process in the Dawley. Kamla rather the ticket the jitne, a morning tone, a Tangal generator, the high Nekari Mamma, Halun, go higher a sound in Changia, a morning tone, money in a Rachalaga. What is how to talk to Tangala, Moe, Penuna Uras, and Hasma High, get the way she talked about them still come my how we don't know, call it in a manner decision or a happy kind of court can trial to it. Masidi say, I call you national character with a yaw of the tower, Masibo. Kali Mutui say, Kamai Tawni, Masidi Tungi, Bisla Nabis, Nakamaya Kami, Dutawne, Masibo, what we say. Madugi Kayauti. Manipur Union Minister Amlaga, you can donate eyes, but you cannot donate vision in Ireland. Vision Yaudaba, plan Yaudaba, Mahama ki ho ho. You can check, this is not the first time I am saying this. I have written it 15 years ago, 10 years, 12 years. Consistent in episodic reaction to a specific episode, knee-up reaction. I have used this word. Every crisis that we face. Thoroughly discussed the vision and no craft of Linjian Manadaga Toki Pocha, Equidaka Yaute. I don't know who I am in Kaleb, Handasumui. Small the Hana plant of Rabzani Kaina. We just realize it. Sili Mami the Hana Murabi. 2015, the Choran Champo, the Iran to lace together. Is it different from today's event? Why is that? Atopo mapan gimi, adagi manu gimi, Manipuri non-Manipuri distinguished of the Loma, Shema Davania, Duto, Mito, Mia, Yellow Migi, should be hate like that. Atopo mapamda, my hope the Gaturan Champurkata, they hold a security. I said 2015, the Shuku Rabo, was low home past over. So, what have you done? Have you prepared? Why we were taken by surprise with this sudden attack on us? So when we remember, we must correct it. As we celebrate Patriots Day, and if we don't learn those things and correct it, then this celebration will be meaningless in that sense. So we need to correct. It's the first thing that I want to remember. So for me, Patriot Day is also a day to quiet sit, think about it, then we share it together. What went wrong and how much we must do the needful to correct it. That's the true spirit of remembering Patriots Day. The other part, Leipa ki land from Haibamuga, Ningto Kubongi land from Haibaga land and issue. In 1891, Leipa i Kang Kong Shire Iran to Isa, Ningto Kubongi land, the Sumari Lane. Now you ask yourself, Handak Tinariba land issue, Leipa ki land, the Ningto Kubongi land, the Yansin of the Yaw, the rest in the TU. Steve, come on, but Matamata didn't talk one, but like Bagni. Nasidi, Ninto one, but none, Latavalina. Highly the essence of the law, the government of the people, for the people, by the people. Ninto Kubongi land, like Bagmiangi land, Ani the Sigain of Imarisa, Kadai the Sigain, no Anistomantomano, we are Reduna. Like Bagmiangi land, and Louis no Fogini Tom Kubongi land, Do Maduna, Arrivani, Haidagi, pressures in Yang, because we are no longer in the feudal monarchical structures, we live in the democratic republican life. So each one of us must also be very clear on this. Atopa, third lesson, Matamduki Landuga, Manipur Sikulai in the season around the dynamics of the lake. Later part of 18th century, British na come over the woman sida Battle of Plassey say 1757. So nakanda Wandu dynasty kida Alumpayana leader waraga empire mahore ise. Sina 1752 say mahakan. Smaina ani is in the South Kanda never class or Kanda never Anglo-Burmese war talking about Kanda. Akoi Manipur se marak chaptorin. So Hogala Kanda di Masigi Bombing dynasty Alumpayas is in Kankalapa the British Mudi meet Chirapone. Adu say score phenomena, later part of 18th century warning. Tirapada Manipur, when alive with them near high, they are a martial race, they are the Rajput of the East Sky. And civilized or organized like they look at Burmese, another Bukambu ni, Haidana, Akogu Micham, and a pull up with the very British Samaraga, Akoyu Manipur, Punjala, like a race in Matamduki wars. So you have the series of activities by the turn of 19th century. Adu the whole of Kadoribo war, Awaga thing of the Yauribo, first Anglo-Burmese war, second Burmese talk, and the third Kumatam, the Burmese, Manipur of Los Angeles, British India. So Manipur gets strategic location, not the importance among the 1885, 86, the Burma is a low area. So that's why they started interfering. Abu Masih said, is Manipur being used by certain forces to serve certain goal, not related to us, interest? Larger strategic gain by Indian state is there. Some goal that Indian state wants in the border areas. Union Home Ministry na hexin na wide unintegrated reason border the legacy India cannot afford. Cookie Chin group na lady Mayam say we all know that counterinsurgency department is Suhana labor group everybody who defense retired officer everybody knows. So we must ask that Iran se kana interest yaw ino. Similarly, Nasaki cookie jo in a Toybo Kamus in a Kanano, Mois in a Karai, the Toyno Sain nationalism, my suddenly Hadiba. Third man, Tunana, but drug kickery, shift of Shaleba. UN report the Yawley Bama to get the poppy plantation, the sick spillover effects in Manipur, the Tobe. There are reports in NDTV as well. So this is the third thing that you need to think. In the other way, political parties in the competition, BJP, right wing and this left wing Congress, Mungi dynamics, Nukari, Yauriba. See what my answer, and then we have to take a call based on that one. I know Lucilapada, Marisiki, Nainaraka, color of top of what the Koloina, tension that some is a rabada. I don't want to call my own fellow citizens as outsiders. But I also know that Lenin Nabada respect the woman Changi Akoina Sumi respect the woman. Koubu had the mammy matuated from Jalaga, Tanzinka, Yareka, and Hector Hogumba. Lokta's mammy had took something history, and Dokan identity is Lenin Nabada respect the sign at the table. That's not the sign that you respect our sentiment. Hamani Tawla, Koubu the mammy from Jalia to Tayo, Sixunami. And they looked at Mammy to me, history, Sitai, and Yadutoni, Highway, nothing of a Jixuman, Meitei young to some other moon. And they give me see the photo Tagalaga, Karim Katana, and more Pocotorasia. These signs are not the friendly signs. I do either they quickly look at Gandhi mentioned the Yapate. When the push comes to shove, you have to take it. And listen, not based on hatred, but assertive way that we want to be sung. Because if you disrespect our sentiments, that time immemorially la boko maming toilet and be amata to be karim the time and be tanzim ganda be me see the karim the time no the kanang bako na semalim and the forces of the backup to these forefathers have told us that we will not run away. We'll stand up for ourselves and we will fight. Modern democracy, I don't lose. I still know that among all the communities, feeling their Manipur, their attachment, it's high time. I have seen people protesting, but I have never seen people using abusive words with female genitals in the public rally. You may like the CM or not. I am no big fan of our politicians. You may have political disagreements, but what kind of ethos culture is this community, or the kind of culture that when you shout, "Ma behan ke gali leke aap procession chaloge," what kind of culture is this? Your contentious attitude towards people's religious feeling, people's tragedy, you have to be very, 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 very firm about this response, but without losing the fact that a united Manipur can never be based on two things. It should not, you cannot have your imperial nostalgia, because we are no longer live in a kingship. It is a democracy. Every citizen must have the dignity and respect, whichever community they come from. So if I put it in Kaunana, I do something I just like that, I go the I see Haksam, I see what I think the Anang, Haksam, so I need to hide it. But I'm very different from that 3 years old, I don't know how to Kiduga, I call my city lady, see the Amata, the Mari lady, have a call with the table. So history is a syllable. Today's Manipur is not the Manipur of 1891. It is not the Manipur of, say, 1946, 71. This is a very different Manipur. Every citizen should have the dignity that they deserve. This community, that community, this religion, everybody must have that dignity. Adugi dignity, self-respect, Yadabugi sign, me, like from the Karidu, Shito, the Botobi, Hishish, and Loke, and the Rabu Portico. Adu, which is you Canada, Tinaga, Nukatu, and the Tobogi Pilgrims. In today's globalized world, ethnic exclusivity when a Laireka, Hingani, and Kaliba, Wakandu, it will die on its own pressure. Maybe Nagoka Kadai, the common parochial attitude, tribalism, and I'm using this term very consciously as an anthropological concept. Please see what tribalism means. Adugi the exclusive point that Tauraga, a lady it's self-contradictory or a number of India, among the Lenin cities at the show, I put them in a high meaning to Iran. That you think that when you join the Indian army, that you will not follow an order from an Indian Meitei army officer. Is it possible? As a citizen of the country, what do you mean by that we can't live together with this community? Please tell me, what does it mean? When you work in Delhi University or JNU, if we are colleagues and my students, I have all cookie students also. How dare you say that we will not have any relationship with them as a citizen? Is this the logic that you will be supporting it? They must ask this of themselves also. And we must ask it together. If you're losing track of what life is, India is citizen you are bound to interact and even in a globalized world, in multinational cooperation, you will be interacting and associating with the Meitei So when we say, I know the Haizar Ano Manipur Masagatpa Amato Visida, Nasai Honga Pichibi Pochida, I call it Meitei, so to correct over the young lady. But I'm saying that Tauraka to say, any time when we remember our past, I know Sahiba Koya, so to moment, I'm so Aduga, Ano Punsigi, future and future is a philosopher and Haida, Yang Hazabamile. Future is not a destination to arrive at. Future is something that we do today to make certain things in the future. Amagi, days to come the Tawada. Future there. Tungi matamda later. Nasi window activities there. It's a future. Future is something that we do now. Adugi, Lemina Bagi Chaka, Nusi Sanana Lemina Bagi, Laiba global forces like what they say, so by extractive economic lives, you might take it on as I put. Why could he make the seeking enmity, animosity, and hatred and the like the world the India the minor partition the same the leader of this country must realize that you cannot afford to have a ghettoized communities. Muslim Hindu ka khana lena jama ma jete ki kaide noi thango ko Muslim jaga me thangjen gen hona ga. What kind of policies that the nation is going to do is that we must ask it constantly. Ghetto-wise ethnic enclaves have a democracy in India. Then buffer zone funnily it was spoken on Karan Thakur's interview by one of these cookie ladies, and after a week Indian army follows the same language. I was wondering what is going on. Indian army ki unit disclose the serving officers, the high military, the Karapamja Poli. Commanding officers must have more information behind their neighbor. How come that everybody gets information of this Zana Tawena? Atusho Karim Katana and Nasib of the Indian army so fully told the why? Kashmir of the High Smana, do you need to do by when you command any secrets in Iran for Canada box the secrets that I got away. Kaido Bano Bakwin say. Massively question me and hung at the Podium, they couldn't think very well out of the Alubo, and size is Sampana of the Potani. Let them say whatever it is. When we remember, we learn from history, we have the Ipai in a Tambinam spirit, we will invite them, we will not run away, we will fight for our dignity, not only for us, for everybody who love the idea of Manipur as their motherland or their community. A Manipur which is not based on imperial nostalgia, but Manipur based on the belief that everybody in that land, every community deserves dignity and respect. We happen to be the community who should take the lead. That's a historical responsibility that we must perform. And if we fail it today, then our generations to come will suffer. Not only Meiteis, I can guarantee you this. And ethnicized, hatred-based in a multi-diverse society like us is only inviting problems. So hate politics must be countered and fought back. Let them come and say that what is the mistake they also make. Just as we are able to say that we have made mistakes, we can correct it ourselves. At the end of the day, when push comes to shove, then we will stand up and patriotic they say. masina takot lesson sulay ayam to intazazabang. Some people will fight with the mercenaries Jill, and Meiteis will probably fight with the patriotic fervor. That's the difference that everybody must know as we celebrate 30 Meitei. Thank you so much.